Hello. Welcome to the Paradigm Oracle. I am Faye. Today I have an exciting reading for you. I felt the urge to do this reading, I think, beginning yesterday. I really wanted or felt the need to connect with a Lemurian shaman that I have personally connected with before, and I wanted to see if he had any advice for the collective. Um, so that will be today's reading. Let's go ahead and get into these piles. So I have 3 piles here. All of these crystals are actually clear quartz. Now, I like to call the clear quartz the granddaddy of them all crystal, and it just pretty much does a lot of everything. It helps with connecting and attuning um, your body to the spiritual realms, and it's a good clearing. It's a good clearing crystal. It's a great amplifying crystal. So yeah, um, all of these are clear quartz. Now, of course, this is a Lemurian shaman, so I felt like maybe that's why he led me to use all clear quartz for these piles, because we need to amplify these messages and receive them clearly. So, I'm not sure what messages are going to come through, but just meditate on the piles. See which ones you feel more connected to. And actually, I will show you a closer look at the crystals. So, just in case you want to see a closer look, this is the crystal for pile 1. This is the crystal for pile 2. This is the crystal for pile 3. Oops. Okay, so take your time. You can pause here. You can look at the description for numbers if you'd like to go off of numbers, and I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you chose this pile and this clear quartz crystal, this is your reading. Now, before I started, I wanted to just go over a few things I noticed, because I did shuffle the oracles. So this reading wouldn't be too long ahead of time. One thing that I noticed when I was shuffling some of your cards were that I kept having another pile come up in my head. So if you were thinking or you were torn between more than one pile, I would definitely recommend go ahead and watching the other pile, because there could very much be a message for you. Also, when I shuffled for your pile and the other pile I kept thinking of, honestly, the cards came out like after no time. Like the messages came pretty quickly for you. So that's something that I noticed. I was getting like manifestation when I was connecting with the energy of this group. So that could be something that you're very good at or good with. You're really good at manifesting energies or just abundance towards you. If it's something that you don't think you're good at, I would recommend you start working on that, because this is something that in this lifetime at least you have the ability to truly tap into and use to your advantage. Okay, so that was my channel's message. But let's connect to the Lemurian shaman to see what he has to share with you. So this first card is openness. And looking at this, I'm thinking of like the full moon. So it feels like you have you have so much. Let me move this over here a bit. You have so much to give to others. It almost feels like you're overflowing with spiritual abilities, and you have a lot to offer, a lot to share. You have a lot to do in this lifetime. But I want to go ahead and start putting down these other oracle cards. I'm not sure how I'm going to put these down. Let's do these because these are all Lemurian cards. I'm gonna do this one. Then we can put these below. Might have to adjust my crystals a little bit more. There. Okay, so the message that he is giving me is there is very strong high priestess energy here. Let me just call out some of these numbers. So 3 is very significant here because we have it 3 times. So we have 3, 10, 38, 60, 13, and the number 8. Those could all be significant numbers for you, as well as the number 4. And what other numbers? The number 11, right? 11 or the number 2, which breaks down to 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Yeah, I feel like a lot of high priestess energy right now. Coming through. I also feel like the energy of a feminine deity. It could be Isis, Hecate. There's another one that Hathor, the Morgan. A lot of those energies are coming through. And there's something like, I remember also at one point feeling, especially when I was shuffling this deck, I kept feeling the feeling of the dark feminine. And it's kind of like at this point, it feels like sometimes I feel like when we think of high priestess, it does feel very much like the moon for sure, but it feels kind of like this is kind of like almost the Oracle of Delphi. It feels kind of like that, where it's like your spiritual gifts are being used and the other parts of you don't matter. And maybe that's kind of what you feel like right now. It's like everyone is looking at what they can gain from you and how you make their life better. But it feels almost like there is no reciprocation of that. It does feel like you're such a compassionate person, a person that cares a lot about the people around you, about your environment. Like you care so deeply. It's almost, it feels as if you connect deeply into the earth, deeply into, like if you live near the sea, you connect deeply to the sea. Like you can feel the energy of the land, not just the land, the energy of the people. And maybe at this point it's getting to be too much. Because with you processing all of these feelings and these emotions, you also feel led to do things to try to balance them out. So maybe you have been in isolation, like this says, trying to rebuild yourself, gain your energy. There's there's like an energy overload, like too much is happening. Um, if you don't have a spiritual teacher, I feel like that is something that you would benefit right now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's making even more sense now that I'm like really paying attention to this card, Earth and Air. Physical integration, mental clearing. It's like you're transmuting so much energy that you're feeling from the earth, and then you're connecting with the spiritual realms, and then you're transmuting that energy and you're trying to ground it all, and you're doing so much. Like, I don't think you found to balance how to balance all of this stuff that you're doing. It's like within your nature, within the nature of your soul to just do all of this stuff. But with you doing it all, you don't necessarily feel, or I shouldn't say feel, you don't have the understanding of needing to take care of yourself and fill your cup. Your your mind is kind of on all of the things that you need to do, on how you can help others. But for me, and at least in my spiritual journey, what I've learned is that helping others, serving others, also means that you have to include yourself in that. So if you want to help and serve others, you have to also do that by doing the same for yourself. And the body that you're incarnated to, that in a way is your first responsibility. Make sure that is good. Make sure that you are good, right? It's almost like, and this is like a repeating narrative that I've been seeing constantly, but it's almost like Spirit gives you a chalice, and Spirit wants to pour in that chalice. Spirit wants to fill that chalice up. But before Spirit can fill the chalice up, you're like, oh, I already have some uh, something in the chalice. Like, you don't need to fill it up. I have enough. And then you go and you start pouring in other people's chalice when your chalice never gets filled. So you're always depleted because you're never completely filled. And you always drain out yourself to other people. So it's like his guidance really is to begin to incorporate yourself into your into your purpose, because it's supposed to be, you're here to do all of the things that you're doing, but the part that you're missing is that you're just draining it out to everyone else, but you're not making sure that your cup is filled. You're making sure their cup is filled, but not your own. Right? What I'm saying is that you're doing the work. You're doing what you're supposed to do. It's just you're missing that one portion of this process, and that is taking care of yourself. Like, you are aligned. You are very well aligned, but you're burning out because you're not taking care of yourself too. So what his guidance is, of course, is to stay in a place of love. You feel very much like a heart chakra person, heart chakra, and of course throat chakra. I see you as the type of person who gets things done, but it's just right now you're burning out, you're getting tired, and you don't understand because you've gone this way so long. You don't know any other way, so you're like confused as to why you're not enjoying doing all of these things as much as you have. And it's simply just your body and your higher self calling out for some care, some attention. Right? Because it's like, as you can see in this card, rite of passage, like you're almost across that line, but this line here is just simply you acknowledging and taking care of yourself, and you'll be over on the other side. This openness, you're like an open book. You're like a full moon. You have so much within you. You have even more to give, but some of that giving has to go to yourself. That is what I have for this message. I'm just going to pull some tarot cards to see if he has any additional guidance. Do you have any additional guidance for pile 1? Do you have any additional guidance for pile 1? Any additional guidance? 8 of Wands. Then we have 5 of Cups. Eight of Cups. And then we have the King of Cups. Lots of cup energy here, lots of watery energy. Okay, so this goes back to exactly what I was saying in the beginning. Like, you're really good at manifesting. You're really good at getting things, receiving things, making things happen. You're really, really good at that. But I think maybe it goes back to this King of Cups where it says here, I am my own anchor, right? Like, and he's holding a chalice, all of these chalices. Like, we need to make sure our cups are filled so we can be of service to others. Because right now it's like, there's a little, with this 5 of Cups and 8 of Cups, it's these typically these cards, in my opinion, typically these cards talk about loss, but in a way, kind of loss. I guess with the Five of Cups, you're typically paying attention to cups that you're lost and not acknowledging that you still have, cups that are still left. And then with the Eight of Cups, it's just leaving, kind of just leaving the cups where they are, right? Another part of like the Five of Cups that or at least I take away from it, is you're crying over cups that have spilled when you can just simply refill them. Like everything is not lost. Like you still have the potential to refill the cups. They're just knocked over. Not all is lost. But I think for you, what I'm getting is, like in the Eight of Cups, you see typically like the person is walking away from the cups. You need to make sure your cups are full. Like, don't cry over spilled milk, basically. You can't. And for me, I'm kind of getting the energy of like you understanding, like, oh, this is something I should have known. This is so simple. I should have known how to do this. Like, I've wasted all this time and this is something I should have already known. Like, that is okay. That is life. There are some messages that come to us simple. There are some messages that come to us easy. Well, I shouldn't say messages. There are some lessons that come to us simply, some easy, some are obvious for other people and not as obvious for us. So don't beat up on yourself for, not taking the time to make sure your cup is filled before you help others. I totally get it. I totally get it. My mother, I will say, is very much like that, where I'm constantly having to tell her, like, okay, it's great that you can save the world and you're doing all of these things, but like my concern is to make sure that you're okay, make sure that you're taken care of, and that is okay. I need you to know that it is okay to begin to put yourself up ahead of other people's needs to make sure that you are secure. And another thing that I tend to learn when I hear this message, or I tend to recognize when I hear this message, is that by you making those changes, people are going to see you doing that, and then they're going to begin to start taking care of themselves. And it is a chain reaction, where, people, they come in contact will see the same thing, right? So understanding that your self-care, you taking care of yourself, is just as helpful to anyone you want to help as simply helping them. So if you need to say no to refill your cup, to rejuvenate yourself, to get your energy back, it is okay. It is okay. If the person truly needs help and they're open to what spirit, what the universe has for them, they will receive help if you're not able to help them. So don't feel like if you can't help them at the time because you're taking care of yourself, it is an inconvenience for them, because it is simply not. The universe, spirit will step in and assist them where they can. And they're not going to put all of this on your back to handle, especially now. This message is coming through specifically. The Lemurian shaman is saying, like, for you, The next step in your spiritual journey, the next step in your spiritual path is you to take care of you. Because you're doing fine when it comes to other people. But the message for you here is to start to tap into you. Make sure you are good. Because your spiritual ability, you have a lot of spiritual abilities, I will say. And I feel like you don't even know them all because you haven't even tapped into yourself fully. But once you begin to take care of yourself and acknowledge what you need and see what you need and see what is missing and all of that type of stuff, then things are going to change completely for you. Things are going to be so much more clear. It's just there's simply a small disconnect in yourself. So all you have to do is reconnect with yourself. And this, and I meant to actually say this at the beginning, the intro of the reading, but collectively, we are being asked to tune into ourselves in a way that we have not in a long time. And this calls for looking at what we're consuming. You know, if you need to look at a label of food to make sure like the ingredients are appropriate and aren't filled with like unnecessary chemicals or whatever, then you need to do that. If you need to go to like the farmer's market to make sure you know the people that grew your vegetables or your fruit, and you know what energy is coming, where it's coming from, and it hasn't been packaged and gone through all of these other hands. Like that is honestly a collective message, but that is one kind of really coming up here where you are being asked to start to pay attention to yourself, pay attention to what you're consuming. This could be like the food, the drink, the media. Pay attention and how that affects your mind, your body, and your spirit. Okay. So this is the message that the Lemurian Shaman has for you. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was encouraging. I feel like it might have been a bit all over the place, but hopefully it gave you some guidance. If you want to like the video, subscribe, comments. You can do all of those things. If you have any suggestions, requests, put those in the comments. If you want notifications, make sure to hit the bell. But I appreciate you for watching this video. I want to thank my spirit team, your spirit team, and my Lemurian shaman for coming through and giving you this wonderful message. And I hope to see you next time. Bye. Hello, 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 pile 2. So if you chose this pile and this clear quartz, this is your reading. So put that there. So I took some notes when I was shuffling. So for your pile, I did feel like this really strange energy. I felt like something is being hidden, or there is like a lack of honesty or authenticity. Wow, I can't talk today. I felt like there was a lack of honesty or authenticity, too much all over. Like the energy was kind of like too much and all over the place. Maybe there's like some insecurity here. Maybe you feel like there's a lot of judgment towards you, a lot of fear. I'm feeling a bit of like a lower self-esteem here. But I'm also feeling like there's a lot of people around you, but there's something that's like not connecting you to them. That was just kind of what I was picking up from shuffling. Now, your card here is the card of community. So maybe I'm not sure if you identify as LGBTQIA plus. but that could be something that you're dealing with, like you're shifting, you're changing, you're feeling more comfortable in your skin, but your surroundings aren't necessarily reflecting that, and you still feel like there's a lot of judgment here. Like I felt like a lot of chaotic energy as I was shuffling. But let's see what the Lemurian Shaman has for you. So the first card here is Unlock Your Gifts. And the next card here is Breathing. Next we have Fire. Here's okay, I'm gonna have to like switch this up a little bit compared to the first pile. So we have Recalibration. We have Talent. Oops. We have Horseman. We have the Medicine Wheel. And then finally we have Negotiation. Okay, first I want to just go over the numbers. So the number 8 could be significant, 2, the number 15 or 6, the number 35 or 8 again, the number 7 and the number 3 could be significant here. So in this file, I have a lot of songs coming to my head. Oh my gosh, there was a song I heard when I pulled this, but I can't remember it. But Ariana Grande's Breathing, I think that's what it's called. Fire by BTS, and there's another song that just came. Is this by 2 Chainz? I think it's called I'm Different. Yeah. So there's definitely this feeling of feeling like you're very different than everybody else, and this could be in very different ways. Again, like I said, it could be part of the LGBTQ plus community, or maybe you feel led to a career that is not of the norm. And this could also be something regarding like your spiritual beliefs. It may not align with those of the people around you. There is a feeling of like a strong connection to shamanism. Yeah, he says like you're very connected to the earth. I feel also, especially with this, I don't know if she's ice skating. I mean, that could be something, but I definitely feel dancing and drums are very significant for you. Um, and fire. Technically, we could really have like all of the elements here because this is earth, this is fire, This could technically be air, uh, but water as well, water here. So it seems like you're such a well balanced person. And maybe a part of the issue is, oh, yeah, this is what it feels like, because you see like all of these dolphins and then you have like this golden dolphin here. It feels almost like everyone around you is attuned to chaos. That is where they are comfortable. And it seems like maybe you've started to see like, hey, maybe this isn't normal. Maybe this isn't healthy. Maybe how maybe if someone treats me bad and I feel bad, maybe I shouldn't treat other people that way or they'll feel bad. It's almost like you have that mindset, but like nobody around you gets it. There's something about you that is very different. And what he's telling me is that you are here, you were born in this environment, in this family, to tear that type of behavior down. Animals could also be very significant to you, um, be it like animals that are physically incarnated right now or animals that have previously been incarnated. Because here I see the sparrow, we have a cheetah, we have Aquarius, we have Aquarius, okay. Yes, this is very Aquarian energy. I did not mean to say Aquarius, but I actually meant to say eagle. And we have the snake. So, um, so also let me just call out these Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio. That's a lot of the energy. I am getting some Pisces energy too. I'm getting like Capricorn energy coming through as well. But yeah, it you you are in a place right now where everything is chaotic. Everything is chaotic. And you seem to be the only one who sees the chaos because everyone else has gotten comfortable being in that energy. Um, and I feel, especially with this space here. I mean, even though technically I got the other signs, but here we have like this energy of grounding that's needed. Um, like I'm hearing like control the fire, control it, because I guess you're in a place where it's like natural to react out of hurt and pain, and it's kind of like I'm getting the image of like the fire just like lashing out indiscriminately. But there's a need to calm that. And I feel like you are pretty calm, but it feels like maybe there are certain situations where it can get a little bit out of hand and you're unable to control how you feel, control your emotions. Especially, I feel like you have a lot of compassion in a way. And maybe it's kind of coming to a place where maybe now you don't lash out in anger, but you lash out in, you know, wanting people to just do the right thing and do right by people. But there's a need for you to balance that energy and not react so much in I'm hearing Mars energy, like kind of cool down that Mars energy. Like we're not, even though you can say in a way it is fighting a battle, but yes, it's this. We're not fighting a battle, we're negotiating. So it's a need to change your mindset on how to approach this and not be so aggressive with it. Kind of checking in to make sure that everything, every decision you make, every battle that you try to go into, you start to look at it as a negotiation, right? And look at it through the lens of love. Understand that we all deserve love, that we all need love. Understand that sometimes people hurt other people because they did not receive that love and they have not gotten to a point of understanding that. So now it's like a part of what you're supposed to be doing is showing them how they should be treated, how they deserve to be treated. And understand that some people react out of wounds, but start to show them love. That's going to cause them a lot of confusion, but that confusion is going to have them begin to question, okay, why do I do things this way? I like when this person treats me that way. I don't like when this person treats me that way. But a part of this is supposed to start with you. Yeah, there's like, and it feels almost like this is probably, you could have already gone through this, but this definitely feels like a spiritual awakening occurring because you're starting to get that sight of seeing things from a different lens. Because I think this is yeah, said this is what that symbolizes, is how you're beginning to see things differently. You didn't see them the way that you're seeing them now. It's almost like a pair of glasses got put on you. But he's also saying, like, if you're feeling out of control, if you're feeling like you're about to lose it and you're not able to, in that moment, speak your truth through the lens of love, then simply walk away, walk to another room, and start to pay attention to your breath until you calm down. And you can simply tell them, like, okay, I'm not feeling well, like, I really need to go to the restroom or something like that. Just take your time and breathe. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. Um, I'm. I know I mentioned this earlier. Like animals are really coming through. Okay, now Taurus is coming through, but animals are very significant for you. Like you may be getting a lot of sick uh, synchronicities through animals because they're really, really coming through. Again, there is a couple of songs coming to me. It's from, I can't remember the name of the album. Is it Black is King? It is the one, it's like the, I guess, it's the soundtrack of the Lion King, the one Beyonce did. I'm hearing a few things, two songs, Key to the Kingdom and Find Your Way Back, I think, are the songs. You may want to listen to those songs. This feels like significant. There's one line in Find Your Way Back where it's like, find your way back. Don't let this life drive you crazy. You gotta find your way back. So I think that's what he's speaking about when he's saying, like, if you're getting overwhelmed and you're feeling lost in that moment, like you're about to lose control, that's when you want to step away and ground yourself, find your way back to yourself, because it's almost like you're getting too consumed in the negative and confusing energy that that person that you're interacting with is causing. So if you step away, that's a way for you to kind of ground yourself back in your energy, and also disconnect from their energy. You could also reach out to your spirit guides or whomever you'd like to reach out with, to help you ground yourself. And I would request, well, one thing for me, I will say, when I'm taking my shower and I speak to my spirit team and I ask them to remove any energy that is not mine and to heal and renew that energy and to return it back to sender or who it belongs. So that might be something that would help you. But in the moments like this, I mean, you wouldn't be taking a shower, but it is something that you could do where, you could just sit down, or you could just, go to a place where maybe there's not many people. You could go to a restroom stall if you're in public, or you could go to the park, or these are just examples, but you could just find a peaceful place to just close your eyes and breathe and send that intention to your spirit team and ask them to clear out any energy that is not your own, to heal and renew that energy, return it back to who it belongs. And I also request that they heal and renew my own energy after that. So your energy is basically refreshed and you're grounded and you're in a more positive, a safer, more comfortable, healthy mind space. So that's my recommendation personally of what I would do, along with a little bit of what he recommends. I'm going to pull some tarot cards just to see if he has any additional messages for you. Do you have any additional messages for pile 2? Do you want me to take those? Take this one. Okay. Any additional messages for pile 2? Any additional messages for pile 2? Any additional messages for, there we go, 5 of swords. Okay. We have the 8 of cups, the 9 of wands, the 6 of cups. Oh, I don't know why I put that. And then the 5 of swords. So, one thing I'm seeing here, okay, with the 8 of cups again, to me, just a reiteration, like, just when things get too overly emotional, too burdensome, too much for you to deal with, it is okay to take a step back until you're able to get yourself mentally in a space to communicate, because it just, again, I see a lot of people around you and they're comfortable in that chaos. So in moments like that, if you're not able to ground yourself and function, it is okay to just walk away from all of that and let them deal with it. This is a lot of this is a lot of uh, karmic contractual stuff that they're dealing with, right? Again, you are in their life to show that change, but again, if you're not able to see it through at times, it is okay for you to walk away. It is okay, especially if it is something that is affecting your mental health. Um, it is okay to walk away. And I think over time, the more interactions you have with these people, again, like I said, they'll see that they enjoy being around you. They'll enjoy interactions with you. So they'll slowly start to change. So you don't always have to be there arguing with them, trying to convince them otherwise. Just, I think that saying goes, just be the change, right? Just be the change. Just live the change. Don't sit there and argue with them because you will be there all day and then you'll be stressed out and upset. And then, you know, they're comfortable in that energy. You're the one that's not comfortable in that energy. So don't overextend your energy by trying to convince them that all of this stuff is chaos. Because if chaos is their normalcy, then it's just, it's all they know basically. So don't overextend yourself with that. Do what you can and then move on and live your life, right? This says, I will heal myself. That should be your priority. You working through all of, especially if this is family trauma, you working through all of that and healing yourself is what is the most important. Um, Not picking up their burdens, not fighting their battles. Do what you can with what you can within your own limits. But your, yeah, especially now, I feel like he's trying to really push me to express that working on your mental health is important right now. Working on your mental health. Your mental health is important right now. And that is why it is important not for you to overextend yourself trying to figure out their mess and their chaos. Especially if it's something that you had no hand in creating. Um, it's not it's not your responsibility to fix what someone else broke. Right now, your responsibility is to focus on yourself and make sure you are safe and you are healthy and you are taken care of. And even if that means like you need to find people that are more similar to you, or maybe you just need to move somewhere else away from these people, that is okay. But right now, you're being asked to, and it's funny, like with this, I'm getting kind of like two sides. I'm getting like one has to do with like family, and then the other side has to do with work. So, I mean, depending on, yeah, yeah, he's really just pushing like right now, your priority is your mental health because it feels like your mental health is really being affected by all of this. So, if you're seeing and you're feeling that something is not benefiting your mental health, then it's time to separate from it. It's time to move on. That is what he's saying. Yeah. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I think I did, but like, if you're looking into shamanism, this is something I very well see you excelling at. It's something you're being encouraged to look into. Yeah. I think that is all that he has. Yes, that is all of the messages that he has for you today. If you want to like the video, if you want to subscribe, if you want reminders, you can hit the notification bells. If you have any comments, concerns, requests, please feel free to put those in the comments. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch the video. I want to thank my spiritual team, your spiritual team, and my Lemurian shaman for coming through and sharing this guidance. I hope it was helpful and gave you some encouragement, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Hello, hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this pile or this crystal, this is your reading. So, for your pile, when I was shuffling for another pile, I kept hearing your pile come up. So if you were drawn to another reading, please watch that reading as well. There might be messages for you there. That was really the main thing that came up. I think also, oh, yes, with that other pile as well as with your pile. When I shuffled, the cards came out pretty much immediately. So for you specifically, I feel like there is something that is coming in pretty soon. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much what I was sensing for you. But let's see what the Lemurian shaman has for you. Ooh, okay. Um, I actually did not see this card before, so maybe that is what is coming in for you. When I am filming this, I'm not sure when I'm going to post it, but when I am filming this, this is literally the first day of spring. It's spring equinox. So I'm hearing love is the song "Love Is in the Air" every time I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. I think that is how that song goes, but I am hearing that. Yes, I feel like okay, this is definitely the romance pile, but let's see what messages he has for you. Ooh, high heart chakra. Okay. Okay. So it's funny that other pile that I mentioned. Um, I was getting this energy of like the dark feminine energy. So that's like Lilith to me, Hecate. Who else? I did name some other deities, but like for this specific pile, I am definitely getting Lilith and Hecate. Um, oh, I said the Morgan, and oh yeah, this one definitely reminds me of the Morgan. But there's another one that is coming through, but I can't I can't get the name. And it was the same thing in the other group. I couldn't, there was like one more that wanted to come through, but I can't get the name. Okay, I'm hearing Artemis, but I know it's not Artemis. Artemis is not the one. Um, there is another one that wants to come through, but I'm not hearing the name, or I'm not able to pull the name. But anyway, let's get into the messages that the Lemurian shaman has for you. Now, for you, I am seeing like a lot of astral traveling happening. Um, if you don't, if you don't astral travel, I don't know if I would recommend doing that. Um, but what I will say is, if that is something that you're going to do, I would recommend making sure that your guide, your spirit team, is providing you protection while you astral astral project. I should say. I don't. I'm specifically actually talking about astral project, but because I personally believe we astral travel regardless, but I'm specifically talking about astral projection, I should say. So if you're doing that, please make sure you have, you know, your spirit team, your spirit guides, your angels, whoever you work with, guiding you protection while you do that. Um, yeah, you might do a lot of journeying as well, because for this one, I'm feeling like I feel this one is very much crown chakra. This is very much crown chakra energy. Um, Maybe for the other piles, I felt more of a maybe more of a throat chakra type of energy, but for you, I'm definitely feeling um, definitely like your crown chakra is on point, honey. Um, but as you see here, your your high heart chakra is also coming into play as well. I do see, and this feels really much more romantic than anything, because love is not always romantic. Love could be with family, with friends, you know. But for this pile, I am seeing a significant other coming in. Um, wow, there's synchronicity. Okay, okay. No, I don't want to sway you, so I won't say. I don't want to say the other piles. But if you felt led to watch another pile, I would recommend watching the other pile because there's some overlapping symbol. Yeah, there's some overlapping symbolism in this one too. So, but also let me go ahead and call out the numbers. So we have 3, 2, 6, 8, and 24, as well as that would break down to a 6, 2. And we have 13, which also breaks down to 4. Okay, so you might be in a, okay, either you're in a relationship now and you feel like it is reaching the, I don't know, the final stages of the relationship, and maybe you have some feeling of like, oh, if I leave this relationship, will there be anyone else for me, or should I just stay in this relationship and be comfortable with the person that I am with? Now, what I am seeing is he's letting you know that you don't have to worry about that. There is there is something that needs to be revealed to you. However, it can't come in unless this connection is completed. We all have free will, so you can choose to stay. I'm not telling you what to do. He's not telling you what to do. He's just telling you that if this connection is ended, you don't have to worry about having someone come in. Yeah. So he's saying, like, just leave that there. Um, because that's what these two cards correlate to. Like, there's some things in the mist. There's some clarity that you're looking for, but unfortunately, you just will not see it until you move to that phase of your life. And you can choose to move to that phase or you can choose not to. It is really up to you. Um, but he's saying, like, right now you're in a space where you can only see so far because that is just currently where your life is at. But if you choose you, that's what he's saying. If you choose you, then the universe will come through. Okay, I hear that. I'm also hearing like you would really benefit from the blue goldstone. The thing about this, and I'll hopefully this lighting, unfortunately, it's overcast, so it doesn't have the best lighting. But as you can see, there's like some uh, sparkly flecks in there, and basically, it looks it looks like the night sky. So, you might benefit from the blue goldstone. Yeah, okay. He's also coming through saying like the universe has you, and it feels almost like you feel like you're a bad person if you end this relationship. But he's saying no, no, like your intentions are correct because it seems like generally like you're really good at taking care of yourself. You're really good at listening to yourself, but it just seems like with this situation you're having a bit of a hard time navigating through it. Um, yeah, you're having a hard time navigating through it. Um, I don't know if you identify as a starseed, but starseed energy is coming through for you. I am getting definitely Pleiadian, Orion. I'm getting Lyra too. Um, yeah, I'm getting those. What about Sirius? So I mean, there's so many like, and there could be quite a few people watching this, so they could you could be from any of those places. But I am seeing a very strong connection to mm, Lyra is coming through real strong. Yeah, Lyra is coming through really strong. Lyra and Sirius, which Sirius for you? I don't know too much about Sirius, so I can't really speak to that. I know a bit about Lyra though. Um, and again, I feel like this goddess is trying to come through, this deity. Maybe it is Artemis because I keep hearing Artemis, or it's a deity that begins with an A. It could be Aphrodite, but let me look to see deities that begin with an A. I looked up some goddesses that start with the letter A. I still, I'm not exactly sure who is coming through, but maybe this is significant to you. I did feel like maybe of course, the Morgan is definitely very significant here, but also Aradia, I believe that's how you say her name. She is coming through. I think she's like called the mother of the witches or something like that. So sorry for that disruption, but I did try to look up some goddesses that started with an A. And Aradia is the only one who felt close enough. I didn't want to spend too much time on that, but I would recommend looking up a goddess with an A. You might resonate with her or connect to her. But that's coming through. It's just that for some reason I'm not able to get the whole name. And so that is some homework from this reading. But yeah, so that is what I see for you from the Lemurian shaman, is that love is coming through. There is a connection currently in your life, possibly, that could be hindering this connection from coming in. And that is just simply due to, fear of maybe not receiving love at all compared to just receiving, love that you feel like isn't quite to your standards. So that is something that he would like to bring some clarity to you about. Yeah, so I think that was pretty straightforward, really. I'm just going to go ahead and pull some tarot to see if he has any additional messages for you. I also just want to reiterate, because maybe the goddess that you're thinking of does not necessarily align with the A in their name. If there is a goddess that you feel is trying to work with you or connect with you, he's trying to tell me that they are trying to do that and your thoughts are correct. And if you would like to work with them, they would be very happy to work with you. Also, again, like I said, if you're doing the astral projection, just make sure to have your spirit team keep a lookout for you, protect you while you're doing that. But doing astral traveling and dream work is very significant for you and your spiritual gifts, or I should say your spiritual abilities as well. So that's another thing that he is encouraging you to work on. Okay, okay, Seven of Wands. Okay, any additional information, guidance? Okay, this is the Strength card. Any additional information? Ooh, the Empress. sorry if you heard that. I hit the mic. Okay, any additional? Okay, and then we have the Queen of Wands. And I just want to show, like, at the bottom of the deck, I have the Two of Pentacles, and it says, I calmly make the best possible decision. So it feels like he's just trying to reiterate that there is really no wrong decision here. If you choose, if you're in this relationship that you feel like, okay, I need to stop shuffling. Oh, I shuffled and this is what came out. Focus on what I focus on what I want and make it happen. So basically what he is trying to tell you is make your decision, whatever that may be. Whatever it may be, if you choose to remain in this relationship, if you're in a now this is of course specifically if you're in a relationship that you feel has run its course, okay? Now if you're in a relationship and you're great, you're having a great time, you don't feel any issues, you want to actually remain in this relationship, his guidance is to continue on that path and that this love will continue to grow, right? That is his guidance. His guidance is also, well, okay, before I get there, so that is if you're in a relationship and you're happy in that relationship. Now, if you're not happy in that relationship and you feel like it is running its course and you want to end it, but you don't know what to do, he's saying the choice is yours, whatever you want to do. But if you choose, if your choice is not to remain in that relationship, okay, he wants me to clarify that the choice is yours. If you want to remain in this relationship, that is fine. But if you're only wanting to remain in this relationship because you feel like something better will not come after, he is saying that is not correct. Because if you leave this relationship and you want another relationship, Spirit, the universe is willing to do that because they are aware that that is something that you desire and you want. So they're willing to give that to you. And that is if you're, again, in this relationship, but you don't want to be in it and you're only staying because you don't think you can do better or there's better out there. Now, on the other hand, if you're in that relationship and you feel like it's running its course, but you're staying because you generally want to be with this person. Actually, let me pull. I lost my deck. Let me pull a clarifier for that. So, Shaman, if they want, if if the relationship is running its course and they want to remain in the relationship, just in general, not because they, for any, if they're just remaining in the relationship, okay, how do I want to ask this question? Shaman, if they are in this relationship and it's running its course, but they do not want to leave because they generally want to be with this person, what is your guidance? King of Cups, I am my own anchor. Okay, so for me, okay, actually, let me get one more card. Okay, Knight of Swords, I choose my battles carefully. So, like, and this is the first card that came out, the King of Cups. I am my own anchor, and then we have Knight of Swords, which is I choose my battles carefully. To me, this was saying, especially when this came out, like, you can do bad all by yourself. Like, if you feel that you are, that the connection is waning, it feels almost like this is energetically not just you. This is something you're picking up on from your partner. And it feels almost like you're both kind of not acknowledging it, but you both feel the same way. And it's almost like you want to stay in this out of comfort because it's comfortable, it's safe. The only difference is with the other group is that you're not staying because you feel like there's better out there. You're not even thinking about what's out there. It's just like you're used to this routine. But it's almost like you could save your energy for yourself instead of like trying to make this relationship work that you both seem to be aware of isn't working, but nobody wants to acknowledge it. Like you guys are just kind of like, I'm just not going to deal with that. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do, but for me, that's the energy that's coming through. Again, like, but if you're in the, again, but going back to what I was saying before, if you're in this relationship, you're happy, it's good. For you, those messages don't apply. Like you're fine. You're both happy. You're both comfortable in this relationship. And the message here for you is just simply that we'll to start working on if you're astral traveling, doing astral projection, dream work, working that way, and tuning those gifts. But for the rest of you who know it's time to go, who want to go, he's giving the message of like you're worthy of what you want. And right now you're basically being asked just to change your focus to that. Like change your focus to build building building the life that you want and focusing on that and not trying to split yourself off or your energy off towards someone else who may not want it or doesn't need it. Like you're capable of receiving the love that you want. You're capable of accomplishing the things you want without being attached to this person. And it's just acknowledging basically what you already know, but like you just don't want to acknowledge it. Like you're comfortable in the safety of how everything looks, but like you're if you just kind of let go of that script, then you'll be even closer to the life that you want and you would truly feel comfortable in. Especially with this, it says I can deal with whatever comes my way. Like you can deal with the fallout of, being separated from this person, and you'll deal with it fine. You just have to believe in yourself, believe that you're capable of it, believe that you deserve the life you want. Like, there's no need to settle. There's no need to settle because saying, like, the universe wants to give you exactly what you want, but you have to be open to receiving it. And it feels almost like right now you're just kind of stuck in a lesson that you've already learned. You've already learned what you needed to learn from this lesson. So now it's time to move on to the next thing. And maybe for those who are in that relationship, that's fine. Um, I think this may refer to like a move. This may refer to a move for those that are happy in your relationship. It does feel kind of like where you guys are now, you've outgrown it and it's time to move somewhere else. So it's time to let go of whatever strings are attaching you to that place. It's time to, I don't want to say snip them, but it's time to move on to move to some other place, because I'm seeing abundance elsewhere. Like where you are now is it's comfortable, but I'm hearing elevation. Okay, like the next place is elevating you. Okay, so this is the message that I have for you. Pile 3. I know this was a bit all over the place, so I'm sorry about that. I hope it did make some sense to you. Yeah. But if you want to like the video, if you want to subscribe, you can feel free to do so. If you want notifications for future videos, feel free to click the notification bell. If you have any comments, concerns, requests, please put those in the comments. And what else? I don't know why I'm like blanking out. It's the spring equinox. It's really something. Yeah, so I wanted to thank your spirit team, my spirit team, my Lemurian shaman for coming through, giving you these messages. Hopefully, they gave you some guidance and assistance. And yeah, I appreciate you for watching the videos, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.